Islamic Relations, or CARE, the nation's largest Muslim organization, says about 2,000 complaints of harassment, discrimination, and violence were filed in 2005. I believe that these were filed because of misconceptions toward the Islamic culture. Muslims are about 1/5 of the world's population, according to the CIA World Factbook. So they are a very large and diverse group, but in this society we're only shown one facet of that culture. So maybe even you have misconceptions and don't even realize it. There are many misconceptions regarding Islam, but I'm going to talk about the ones that are most often cited. And those are who and where Muslims are, the way women are treated within the religion, and extremism as it relates to Islam. Many falsely associate Islam with being Arab, when actually CARE says only about 15% of Muslims are Arab. Most Muslims live in Africa, and the CIA World Factbook also says that 1.8 million Americans are Muslim, and they're spread out all across the country, and they aren't in any one specific area. Now I'd like to talk about women in Islam. Many believe that Islam is an inherently misogynistic religion, but it really isn't. It is actually one of the first religions to give women rights. It insists on the free consent of women in marriages, so women who are forced to marry against their will the marriages aren't actually legally binding according to Islamic law. The Quran also gives the right to divorce, inherit property, conduct business, and have access to knowledge, which is really actually pretty liberal considering that the other religions of the time didn't have anything like that regarding women. One of the most cited issues regarding Muslim women is the issue of veiling. The Quran says to both men and women to dress and act modestly. The confusion occurs when people try and decide what is modest. So what's modest to a UCF student probably isn't the same thing as a student in Iowa or Wisconsin or someplace else. So when you hear about women being punished for not covering themselves in the right way, that's really based upon that community standards and those political definitions set forth where she lives. Which leads me to my next point. Various extremist groups have stigmatized Islam as a violent and intolerant religion when this is really the opposite of what it is. The Quran has a message of peace and tolerance. It actually references Christians and Jews, saying, "Surely those who believe, and those who are Jews, and the Christians, and the Sabians, whoever believes in God and the last day, and does good, they shall have their reward from the Lord." So basically the Quran is saying that you should tolerate these other religions because they serve the same God. Also, terrorism is not valid in any good interpretation of the Quran, and many Muslim scholars speak out against terrorism and offer the correct interpretations of the Quran. So Americans often misinterpret Islam because they're only shown a single facet of the culture. Hopefully you better understand Muslims by knowing who they are, where they're from, the role of women within the religion, and the role extremism plays within that religion. So now maybe when you see and meet a Muslim, you'll see them as a person rather than just an image that you've seen on the news.